Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with a quick album review, but an album that I really wanted to draw your attention to because it's something that I missed out first time around. And it's something that I wasn't, it's the kind of thing that I wouldn't necessarily have gone for, although bands like Capered Cayley and all sorts of those kind of folkish, Scottish, Irish kind of rootsy bands. John McClane. I'm trying to think of all the kind of people that I like because my wife, as you know, is a professional violinist. And at various times in her career, she's dipped in and out of Celtic music, Celtic rock and stuff. But this was an album that I wasn't aware of, although I'm aware of the musicians. And I put this on the Now Spinning Magazine website as a reissue that was coming out, and I was very interested to get a copy and to give it a listen. And I didn't stream it first. I thought I'd just dive in. This is June Tabor and the Oysterband, and the album is Ragged Kingdom. It came out in 2011. The vinyl album itself comes on a beautiful plum coloured vinyl. And it also has some really interesting cover versions as well. There's That Was My Veil, which is by PJ Harvey. Love Will Tear Us Apart, which of course everyone knows from various people who've covered that song, and from Ian Curtis. And also there's a Bob Dylan cover on here as well. The other one is that, because this is the real deal, is The Leaves of Life. And this was collected by Ralph Vaughan Williams, who is a brilliant classical composer, but collected old English folk songs. And I wanted to mention that because there's also stories. There's The Hills of Shiloh, which is the American Civil War Battle of Shiloh, where, you know, literally 24,000 very young people were killed. And lots of folk music and traditional storytelling comes from these kind of historical events. And the way that they've mixed all that in with Joy Division and PJ Harvey and stuff like that, and Bonnie Bunch of Roses, and this is the the Bonnie Bunch of Roses is conversation between Napoleon's second wife, the Empress Mary Louise, and their young son. It comes from a broadside of origin. These little stories about where bits of the music comes from. And then we got Judas Was a Red-Headed Man, a spring carol from Somerset collected by Ruth Tongue in 1916. It refers to the ancient custom of making 12 fires of hedge cuttings and one apart of green weeds and rubbish. That one being for Judas, he'll burn now. Musically, if I say the word enchanting, it's not the word I use often because I'm always talking about rock-centric stuff, I guess. But I love this. It's still tail end of the summer here, but it's the music to sit around an open fire and drink red wine to, perhaps. But I absolutely love music, and June Tabor's voice is a bit like Mary. Now this is the wrong way round. An artist I really like is Mary Fall, and I've interviewed her and reviewed one of her albums. Her voice comes from this, and June Tabor sang with Maddie Pryor, and she's got a long history in music and this genre of music. And I am on the outside climbing down a staircase to this music. This has opened a door for me, because I'm certainly going to go off and research and explore and discover more music by the Oysterband and June Tabor. I'm absolutely going to do that. Both me and Sue loved listening to this. And when we got to the other side of side 2, we just put side 1 on again. It's just warming, it's real, it's genuine, it's pure, it's organic instruments. I reckon if you turn it up really loud, you'll hear the metal and wood bumping into each other. This is the real deal. June Tabor on voice, John Jones, voice and melodeon, Ray Cooper, cello, mandolin, bass guitar, harmonium and voice, Dill Davis on drums, Alan Prossett on guitars, cantil, fiddle and voice. Notice there, for the genuine article, they're not violinists. They're fiddle players. There is no difference between those two words, but it's interesting how both two genres, classical and folk, call them by different names. But anyway, we have two fiddle players in this band. Ian Telfer plays fiddle, Al Scott bass guitar and mandola. Produced by Al Scott, recorded in April 2011. This new version sounds absolutely fantastic, and I was about to say, could this be one of my standalone reissues of the year? In some respects, saying that is kind of wrong, because it wasn't something I was looking out for. That might be, I'll be a Thin Lizzy box set or something. But all I can say is that this is one of these things which has really delighted me, because I feel lucky and humbled that I took a chance, and I've discovered this band. 2011, I mean, for me personally, was not a difficult time. There's a lot going on in my life, so a lot of things I just think, well, I haven't got the money for that. I can't afford that. And so listening to this is incredible. I mean, the reviews on the front tell you more than me, who's only just, my journey to the Oysterband is just beginning. This was worth waiting for, The Guardian. Glorious, says Mojo. There's enough emotional power here to fuel a circuit of the sun. The reunion of the Oysterband and Tabor has crafted a masterpiece, songlines. And the Independent, striking gold by fusing contemporary and traditional, Ragged Kingdom raises the alchemy of that process to the highest level. That's what people said at the time. And it's great to think that literally 13, 14 years later, I've discovered it. And I really enjoy it. So this is one of these things where I'll say, people are going to say, Phil, where have you been? So let me know where I've been in the comments, and what you think of this band and this album, and what I should probably listen to next. And if you're like me thinking, I've always wanted to know, start here. This is a great album, Ragged Kingdom by the June Tabor and the Oysterband, out now I believe it's Decca, is it not? It isn't, it's Topic, the oysterband.co.uk. It's wonderful. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. Just turn it up. Turn the news down. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, all of you, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon.